Welcome to the Right to Dream Stadium in Cairo, or more specifically, October Gardens on the outskirts of the Egyptian capital for this clash between Mali's USFAS Bamako and the home side FC Masa of Egypt in what is a decisive day in the group stages of the 2025 Confederation of African Football's Women's Champions League, because today the semi-finalists will be determined, and the first games kicking off are in Group A, followed by the conclusion of Group B in around 3 hours' time. Currently 3 teams from Group A can make it through. 15 de Agosto, the side from Equatorial Guinea, have been eliminated after 2 defeats from their opening 2 games. At the top of the table is the Egyptians Masa with 4 points, and they sit level with the former champions ASFA, Royal Armed Forces of Morocco. Both the North African sides with 4 points, and then USFAS Bamako, the Malians, making their debut with 3 points, just a point behind, so the brief could not be clearer for them. Victory today against the hosts Masar will take the Malians into the knockout stage in the last 4 at the first time of asking, which would be mightily impressive as we see the local side coming into the stadium. Yet to concede have FC Masa. USFAS, well, it's a different story for them. They've conceded in both their games so far. They won their opener against the Equatorial Guineans 15 de Agosto before they were undone by Morocco's ASFA on match day 2, that game on Tuesday. And now here they are. Can they show what they've learned in this inaugural introduction to the Women's Champions League? Can they spring a major surprise and stop Masa from making it through, which is what could effectively happen should USFAS triumph today and ASFA beat or get a point against 15 de Agosto, which is widely expected. 7 goals conceded in their 2 games for 15 de Agosto, as we see the FC Masa players. And now those from the Malian side. Well, they look pretty relaxed, as we see the coach of FC Masa, Abdelrahman Ayed, the man in charge of the Malians, Amadou Cissé. He said that if the team started well in this tournament, they could dream of reaching the knockouts. Well, they did start well. They picked up 3 points in their opening game, coming from behind to do so, to win 2-1. And now they have given themselves a shot at making it into the semi-finals. Both those ties in the last 4 on Tuesday. The winner of Group A will play the runner-up in Group B, and second place in Group A will take on the team that emerges top of Group B later today. The final, well, it is less than a week away now. Friday night, 1700 GMT. Will either of these sides be in it? We will find out which ones will be going through soon enough. Some locals come out to watch what is a fairly recent team. Masa, founded just 6 years ago. And the Confederation of African Football anthems rings out as the officials and the 2 teams get set to come out onto the field of play at the Right to Dream Stadium. Well, who will be dreaming at the end of 90 minutes? Masar on the left of your screen in black. USFAS Bamako in the blue with yellow trim. Desert Sands in the background. So the team lineups, USFAS have made 2 changes from the side that were beaten 2-0 by USFAS last time out. Among those coming into the team is Awa Niare wearing number 7, and Bamako Traore wearing number 17 also coming in to the side, dropping to the bench Safiatou Keita. While Aisha Samake, another who's fallen out of the side, doesn't actually even make the squad. The refereeing crew today is Rwanda's Aline Umutoni in the middle. She also has a sister, a twin sister, who officiates in the African game. Occasionally they work on the same match together, not today. So both teams are represented by their goalkeepers. And I was saying that it's Amira Mohammed, of course, who actually is the captain of Masa, the 22-year-old. Plays just in front of Habiba Sabri, the Masar goalkeeper. And she's impressed so far in this tournament. Amira Mohammed, as we see the VAR officials. Maria Paquita Sinquela Rive of Mauritius, the lead VAR official. As for the home side, normally playing away today, just the one change for them from the team that thumped Quince de Agosto 5-0 in their last game on Tuesday. Coming into the side up front is Hala Mustafa, as you'll see on the left-hand side of your screen, wearing number 9. And Alice Ogebe will be looking to add to the goal that she scored against the Equato Guineans last time out. Here's Violette Mwamat Kamba, who drops down to the bench wearing number 5. And as you can see, a couple of players on yellow cards for the hosts in some key areas as well. Ogebe leading the line, and Habiba Ahmad Sabri in goal. No bookings whatsoever for the Malians. Abdelrahman Ayed Nasir has got its side playing well so far. It started with a point against the Moroccans, USFAS, a week ago today. Followed up, as said, by that comprehensive victory on Tuesday. So we are underway with a place in the semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League up for grabs. USFAS Bamako against FC Masa of Egypt. The Malian side playing from right to left in blue with the yellow trim. And it's the Egyptians in black with the white trim, let's say. Playing from left to right and in control of the ball in these early moments of the game. Early touch for Fatu Mata Karantau in that Malian goal. Shard on your screen, the 21-year-old. A little early hold up here. Karantau. I wonder if she did that while kicking long and clearing her lines, but this is not the start USFAS Bamako would have wanted. She's been ever present so far, Karantau. Well, let's have a look here. Well, it was just a ball knocked forward that came to her, and then this is the clearance. Let's just watch how she reacts after she kicks it. Well, sadly, we don't see, but as you can see, no contact whatsoever on the 35-year-old. An abundance of caution, possibly, from the USFAS Bamako goalkeeper. Yet to keep a clean sheet in Egypt. Back underway. Calmly played by Hasnat Ubamba. And she's got it back as well, Ubamba. A really tigerish player for Masar. Hungry on the ball. Got a goal against Quince de Agosto and trying to get in behind here, Karantau. Well, she looks okay. Well worth keeping an eye on for USFAS #1. Julia playing it out to Big Tash. On the back heel. The cost of possession. Habiba Tarek Yahia, Big Tash. One of several very young in the FC Masa backline, just 18 years of age, the right back. Azubamba sent on her way. She's got Alice Ogebe in the middle if she can find her. Just touches it back. There's a bit of space at the back stick for Masa if they can play it over. Big Tash. Well, you can see what she was trying to do. Well cut out. Lines cleared by Hawa Traore. And there's no one up there to get that, so this will just be fairly easy for Amira Mohammed. Masa seeing much more of the ball in these opening stages, and they're in behind. It is Ogebe with an instant chance to make a dent on the scoreline, but that's fine defending at the back. Really was. It was Umu Traore who came in, I think. Ogebe with eyes for goal, played in behind. And Masa had their first corner of the game. It wasn't Traore, it was Juma Kamate with a really alert piece of defending from the 27-year-old. First corner of the game, what sort of delivery comes in? Cleared away. They were undone. USFAS Bamako by a corner in the final minutes against the Moroccans, ASFAR, having conceded a penalty earlier in the game. So they've got to be mindful of conceding too many set pieces. Julia just running into a little bit of trouble, and she's conceded possession as well. Khadijatou Diabate. Just moments after Masa had their first corner, USFAS Bamako of theirs. Julia's in a spot of bother, the central defender for Masa. And the medical crew are going to be back on the field as well. She looks okay, thankfully. Swung in deep and still not fully cleared, but hacked away into the sky, headed on. And Masar just happy to clear their lines. Well, that's a pretty optimistic effort at goal from Maimouna Traoré, who has scored in this competition. USFAS still in possession. Traoré again. And she couldn't thread the pass through. Looking for Diabate down the left-hand side. And here is Diabate trying to get away from Biktash. USFAS Bamako are only the second Malian club to ever appear in this competition after AS Monde. Monde, who are serial champions in Malian football, or had been for many years, participated in both 2021 and 2023. 2021 being the inaugural CAF Women's Champions League. They never got out of the group stage, though, did Monde. So can USFAS Bamako go one better than their far more illustrious, or certainly decorated, domestic rivals? Probably not if they're going to play balls like that, but they've started well enough. Fairly hopeful. Ball forward, looking for Traoré. Amira Mohammed goes short, choosing to play it out, confidently so from Masar. Biktash. Well, she just couldn't keep it in. Trying to play it into Mahira inside her. And forward again for Maimouna Traoré. A header on target. And that is a blistering start from USFAS Bamako. Well, all eyes have been on the hosts. Instead, it is the Malian debutants who take the lead. And just how important could that goal be? Umu Kone, with her first of the tournament, she had a lot to do. But she has given her side a really early lead, and a reminder that USFAS Bamako, if they win this game, will be in the semi-finals on their tournament debut. That really is a fine header. Look at that. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. And it's all very well having a plan. What's the execution like? Well, she absolutely nailed it. Did Kone. And now, instantly at the other end, Bamba trying to bring Masar level. Well, this wasn't in the script. But it sets up this match absolutely perfectly. A reminder that Bamako have yet to keep a clean sheet in this competition so far. How they could do with correcting that record today. Traore playing it long. One of a handful of Traores in the starting lineup for USFAS. Bamako 4 in total, which means that I'll always be giving you their entire name. And that's excellent battling from Awa Diarra. Wearing number 12 for USFAS Bamako. He's played every minute so far of the campaign. Showing good determination there. "24 years of age, the midfielder. Julio at the back for Masa. That's calmly done. That's not the best pass back to her, though. Recovery from Masa. Now, what can they do on this occasion? Abamba, always full of running, and has backed herself to take on and beat Juma Kamate. And instead, Kamate goes to the ground, and Abamba concedes the free kick. A little arm across from Kamate. Knew what she was doing, the experienced 32-year-old. Well, that's a foul on Yasmin Zizo. Mohamed. 2 goals last time around to the Masa, number 11. Also made one in that game with Yasmin. Certainly one to keep an eye on. Well, USFAS have managed to do what no team has succeeded in doing at this championships before. That is, find the back of the net against Masa. Prior to this, Habiba Sabri in the Masar goal had not been beaten. So the question is, how will the Egyptians, bronze medalists in this tournament 1 year ago, handle being a goal behind? It's uncharted territory for them so far. Julia. Amira. Has she got enough on that for Big Tash? Big Tash caught. And it was something of a hospital pass to her from Amira Mohammed. And Big Tash feeling a little bit of that. She had to go for it. And she was just caught a little bit late by Maimouna Traore. Maimouna Traore again with the header. And there she is, Maimouna. Scored on the opening day against 15 de Agosto for the Malians. In the top left-hand corner from the penalty spot. You see the first yellow of the game. A wry smile from Diabate. Just a little arm in the face of Mahira. He certainly made the most of it. And still receiving treatment. Mahira Ali Mohammed, Ali Eldambuki, a 28-year-old. Started both games for Masa as the midfielder. And here is the goal again. Excellent technique, really was a good header. Because there wasn't all that much pace on the cross, which meant she had to generate the power. And you can see what Karantal thought of it, coming all the way out of her goal to congratulate Kone. Free kick, Masa. Mahira down again. Well, they've yet to test Karantal. They have Masa. Can they do so here? Lots of instructions from the bench. Mahira swings it in. There's only blue heads there. And that could have gone across from Julia. Back square into the 6-yard box, and who knows, the player in black could well have profited. Instead, she fluffed her lines. Did the 21-year-old. It wasn't the best header, was it? By Umu Traore. Trying to get it away. Instead, she just played it to an opponent. I talked about USFAS being the second Malian club to appear in the competition. Its second appearance in the Women's Champions League for FC Masa equals the Egyptian record of Wadi Degla. And last year, the side in black outdid Wadi Degla and becoming the first team from Egypt to make it into the knockouts. And this time around, they've very much spoken about targeting the title. That player on your screen there, Amira, the skipper. We want Masar to be Africa's first representative at the Women's Club World Cup, she said, because whoever wins this tournament will be going into the inaugural Women's Club World Cup. We've seen that tournament develop in the men's club game. And it's being introduced into the women's game as well. What an incentive that is for all the teams in Egypt to get a chance to play some of the best teams in the world, which will be happening later this year and early next. Nice first touch from Ogebe. Ubamba. A little shove in the back from Traore. And the free kick goes Masar's way. And just a little bit too physical from the USFAS central defender. You can see clearly the left arm in the face of Ubamba. So an opportunity to get players forward. See, the wind is up. So that will be a factor for Mahira. Endless encouragement from the bench, which you can hear as well as I can. It goes deep on this occasion. Well, there was a chance out of the back stick. Hala Mustafa it was, coming in, ghosting in. And the player who's come into the side today, unable to put that on target, but a really presentable opportunity for Masa. And Hala Mustafa cannot add to the goal she scored against Quince de Agosto last time around. Now Yasmin invited to go forward. Umu Traore did just enough. 27 years of age now, Traore. It's a far more experienced back line for the Malians than the Egyptians, who have a teenager in goal, and Habiba, just 19 years of age for Masa. Bigtash, the right-sided defender, just 18. Amira, who's 22, is a relative veteran alongside Yulia, who's a year younger than her. At the other end for USFAS, well, their goalkeeper is 35, one of their central defenders over the age of 30, and the other two in their late 20s. That's nice, but the hints of offside, but on we go for now. Ubamba in behind, looking to play it back into Ogebe. Well, and now the flag does go up. She looked at Marloff. Did Ubamba. As you can see, but full of running, as said, as Nath Ubamba, 19 years of age, and with energy to burn. It's nicely played down the right-hand side. As you want a corner, no. It's going to be a goal kick to Masa. Yet to fully respond. So Umu Kone's early header after just 10 minutes. Mahira. Yasmin trying to get in behind, so too Ubamba. Well, Mbamba's tussled, still got the ball, but she can't find the back of the net. Well, had she done the hard part, or has the referee seen some sort of an infringement? Either way, when the goal was presented to Ubamba, she could beat Carantau, but she couldn't fashion her chance inside the right-hand post. A bit of a tussle. And then the opportunity. Well, Ubamba might call it a sighter. And they're getting closer. Yasmin into Mahira, looking inside for Ubamba, cannot find her. Here's Piona. And she's muscled off it by the goal scorer, Kone. This game is a difficult height, a difficult ball to control. It's a good little touch in there from Awa Diarra. Unorthodox from Amira Mohammed. Well, she fell over. So too Shad. But either way, Masa survive. Kone, whose goal separates the sides. Well, she didn't seem to do an awful lot wrong when going in on the Masar midfielder. Opportunity here for USFAS. Just a little bit of a heavy touch by Traoré, who's switched flanks from the left to the right. Mahira. Well, Yasmin could almost be in. She just couldn't read the flight after Traoré. Well, something of a missed kick from her. Shard under pressure from Traoré, just happy to concede the throw. Easy Fiona, you can hear the cries. Striker goal from Kone, looking for a second. Well, it was ambitious. And the technique could not match the idea, but not short of confidence, the 25-year-old. The Rwandan official, a busy lady right now. She blows again this time. The free kick Masar's way. Julia looking long, and that might well find a colleague in behind. Just not the best control from Ogebe. Played it a little long. She got a little bit lucky as well. Free kick for Masa in a dangerous position. Well, she seemed to go down a little easily, did Ogebe, but nonetheless, Umu Traoré adjudged to a foul. Already delivered. A free kick from this sort of range, from this area. On the last occasion, she found the head of Hala Mustafa. Mahira goes deep again. Sails over the head of Julia. And once again, USFAS survive at the back. Shad. Hala Mustafa, pass cut out. Traoré. Hawa Traoré. They were looking instantly to play it into Bamako Traoré. Kone does that again. Well, she hasn't got that sort of time at the back, Julia. She got caught, but it was good hunting by Bamako Traoré. Come into the side today, a 21-year-old. Here is that chance for Ubamba again. She seemed fairly composed, but just a few inches the wrong side of the post. Nonetheless, gets the congratulations of her Nigerian teammate Ogebe. Well, not for the first time, Julia down on the ground. Flicked on by Kone. Big touch with work to do. She's done it well enough. Mahira. Yasmin. Back to Mahira. Looking long and excellent running once again, as you might expect from Mubamba. She's got Ugebe in the middle. She needs to release it. She's just dawdled a little bit too long there, Mubamba. That's a solid challenge coming in from Big Touch to deny Bamako Traore. Yasmin. Traore looking long. Well, it wasn't the worst first touch from Kone, and her side still in possession. Lovely footwork this from Diabate, still going she was, and then Maimouna Traore goes down very, very softly. Hopeful for something from the referee, but was next to nothing as said. Well, Maimouna Traore, that's also hopeful. So just under a quarter of an hour to go, and it is USFAS Bamako who are in the box seat. They've inflicted Masar's first goal of the campaign. Big touch, looking through, Ubamba in behind. Can she level it up? Well, she can't, but Ugebe can. And Masar. Well, they thought they were level, and then they've looked across to the assistant referee, whose flag was raised, but it shows you what Masar can do. And you can see Ubamba had strayed. Ugebe, well, that was meat and drink for the Nigerian. They scythed through, did Masa, going very direct, right down the heart of the pitch. You can see what Hasnat Ubamba thinks of it. Will be being checked by the video assistant referee, of course. To my eyes, Ubamba certainly looked offside. But we wait, as ever. And as ever, we hope it can be done as quickly as possible. And on this occasion, that is a very, very swift decision. And the goal does not stand. Correctly so. Umu Traore forward to Umu Kone. Just too much on that. Looking to play in Hawa Traore. Gifted possession. Bamako Traore into Umu Kone. Kone still going. Julia back up on her feet. And they look long. Ubamba in behind again. She's got Yasmin charging through in the middle if she can find it. That's nice footwork from Ubamba. But once again, she cannot test Karantau in the USFAS goal. There's a nice little step over in there from Ubamba. She's in control again this time, looking long for Yasmin, and just a little bit too far in front of the 30-year-old. She is the danger woman, Ubamba, at present for the host side. Julia. That's coolly done by Fiona Nabulime. At the base of the Masar midfield. Mahira. Well, she's felled under pressure from Diabate. She set up Yasmin's opener against Quince de Agosto de Mahira. And a lot is going through her today as well. Amira Long. Here is Mahira again. Big Tash. Cuts inside. Well, Ogebe goes down. No decision. And USFAS just very casually just play it out, play it forward. Just under 10 minutes for them to go in, leading at the break, and oh, what a fillip that would be for them. Just too heavy from Big Tash. Diabate dispossessed. Mahira now. Forward to Hala Mustafa, looking to play in Ubamba. And guess what? It's Mahira once again. She seems to be everywhere, screening across that midfield for the home side. Good solid channel tackle coming in at the back from Kamate. Well, they have huffed and they have puffed to Masar, but they have little to show for it so far. And here is scrapping. Diabate picks it up for USFAS. Into Kone. Well, she couldn't find Bamako Traore. She could only find Big Tash. Shard looks left now. That's nicely played, and a little bit of space here for Kone. Diabate, that's a really difficult pass. Eye of the needle stuff. She almost latched onto it. She might have been better advised just to hold her run there. Bamako Traore, because she was asking a lot of Kone. In behind at the other end as well, and they've got a free kick as well. Well, these long balls just right at the heart of the Malian defender, resulting in great dividends for Masa. And there's a second yellow card of the game as well. I think it's gone to Kamate, but we will just have to check. It is indeed a challenge from Juma Kamate. So that's Diabate and Kamate. Who are on a caution for the Malians. Well, this is a very presentable opportunity if Masa want to go for goal. Possibly just a little bit wider than they would have liked. Hala Mustafa, the 20-year-old. Just working out what she wants to do. And I think there must be some comments and discussion, possibly from the VAR crew. They're looking at that challenge from Kamate again on Ubamba. There's confirmation of the yellow. If there is this hold-up in play, I can only wonder if they're possibly thinking about whether it should be upgraded from a yellow to a red, but that would seem incredibly harsh if that is indeed what they are thinking. I struggle to believe they are. Well, this is it. I think there was a touch of a handball in there. Was there denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity? I think a yellow card is more than enough. But they are going to check the screen, so what do I know? Well, if Kamate was to see red here, this would really change the complexion of this tie. It would also seem, as said, very, very harsh. But let's have a look and see if that is what they are checking. There's certainly an arm in there from Kamate. She's already been penalised for the foul. Was there a little touch before it went on her arm? Here we go, let's have a look. This will be a better angle. So a little off her chest and then hits her hand. Well, the ball came off the head of Ubamba onto the right arm of Kamate. Certainly touched her arm. Whether it was intentional or not is highly debatable. Was it in an unnatural position, her arm? One would say no. And the Bamba just went to the floor. Well, if this were to be upgraded from yellow to red, it would really be quite something. The check completed, so what is the decision? No yellow card. It is red instead for Juma Kamate, who simply cannot believe it. Well, it is a smile of disbelief. But inside, she must be absolutely seething. It is incredibly harsh on the Malian central defender. She really did not know too much about the ball coming onto her right hand from Ubamba. And what on earth must they be thinking on the USFAS Bamako bench? Incredibly, incredibly tough on Juma Kamate. And you talk about denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. Well, we'll come to that in a moment. First of all, let's see what happens here from the free kick. Will it be Mahira or will it be Hala Mustafa? It's going to be Hala Mustafa who strikes a goal and straight at Fatoumata Karantal. She got the bend, but just straight at the Malian stopper. He's running the clock down a little. What I was going to say about that header from Ubamba was, as she headed the ball to the right-hand side, thus hitting the arm of Kamate. Well, if Kamate's arm hadn't got in the way, the ball would surely have gone further away from Ubamba, and therefore it would have been less of a clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity, which really does make that decision all the more baffling from the officiating team. USFAS will have to play the entirety of the second half with 10 women. As VAR effectively share their screens with us. They're going to be, as you can see on the top of your screen, 6 additional minutes at the end of this first period. And that's poorly played from Shard. Kone. Not too many options in the middle that she could find. loose at the back from Julia. Now Niare just plays it back before it comes forward. And Masa, not for the first time, have a free kick. Amira Mohammed going in and not getting anything on the ball, taking the Bamako player down. Nonetheless, the free kick has gone the home side's way. Fine support from those inside the Right to Dream Stadium. She's in a bit of discomfort, the Masar skipper. Here is a change, and it's Bamako Traore who is being sacrificed for the Malians, and Mariam Simpara will be coming on. Yet to play in the tournament so far, the 20-year-old defender. And that's a sign of how the red card to Kamate is forcing a reshuffle for USFAS. Big touch for Masar. Maimouna Traore, important touch. Kone plays it back into her. Forward again. Well, it wasn't too dissimilar that from the cross from which they scored in. It goes into the middle, and she had to be quick, Amira Mohammed. She got there eventually. Still they come down the right-hand flank, looking for the corner. Nice first touch from Ubamba. Mahira. Big touch. Still she goes, big touch to Yasmin. Inside she comes, well, into Ogebe. Ubamba's free in the middle. They can find her. Oh, she's missed it. And then again at the back stick as well. Well, Masar just couldn't make it count. A glorious opportunity for Ubamba, who swept and missed. And then in came Hala Mustafa. It was so presentably passed to both of them by Ogebe. Well, she cannot surely believe what she's just seen. You can instantly see what the absence of Kamate at the back is doing in terms of leaving openings in the USFAS defence. And they rode their luck on that occasion, even if they may well think that the dismissal of Kamate just a few moments ago was incredibly harsh. Well, that was undoubtedly the best chance of the game for Masa. Unable to take it. So into the 6th and final minute of stoppage time at present. It is USFAS Bamako going into the semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League alongside ASFAR, Royal Armed Forces of Morocco, who are leading 15 de Agosto in the day's other Group A game by a 1-0. All can change, of course. Little touch forward. Awa Traore just couldn't play it back into Awa Niare. Mahira nicely played around the corner from her. Big Tash. Yasmin, well, the stoppage time is up, and USFAS Bamako, courtesy of that early goal from Umu Kone, lead this game by a 1-0, but it is on a knife edge thanks to the late dismissal in the first half of Juma Kamate, harshly adjudged to have denied Ubamba of Masa a goal-scoring opportunity when sent off for a handball that she seemingly knew little about. Nonetheless, USFAS Bamako must play the second half with 10. Masar need to find the goals to take them through into the semi-finals. They are the host side, and doing anything but making the last four would be a major shock at half-time in the Right to Dream Stadium on the outskirts of Cairo. It is USFAS Bamako 1, FC Masar 0. So the first half highlights of this Group A encounter between USFAS Bamako of Mali and Egyptian side FC Masa. And this was the first and only goal of the opening half, superbly taken by Umu Kone, her first of the tournament after being fouled by Maimouna Traore. A lot of work to do for the Malian centre forward, but didn't she do it well? Rose high, guided it just inside the left hand post, and a super header. It was a opening period that had its fair share of stoppages. On this occasion, Mahira of Masar going down after being caught by the flailing arm of Kajiachatu Diabate. And then at the other end at Masar, well, they did finally have the ball in the net, but Hasnath Ubamba had strayed offside. She took it past the goalkeeper, Alice Ogebe, the Nigerian, touching it in. The VAR correctly adjudging that to be offside. And then this was the big talking point of the first half. Ubamba charging in, Juma Kamate getting a hand on the ball. And that handball was adjudged to have denied Ubamba, in my understanding and interpretation, of a clear goal-scoring opportunity for Ubamba. Well, you can see how she celebrated. Kamate just couldn't believe it, smiled in absolute disbelief and shock. But at half-time, it is USFAS 1, Masar 0.
تعال هنا، تعال بره. يلا بره نطلع نتفرج على الشوط التاني.
هتجيبيها يلا هتجيبيها. ايوه كده.
لموا يلا نروح لموا. يلا 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 يلا. شوطها برجله 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 روح لموا. برجله.
العادي.
Shoot!
يلا.
زرباعي بقى عايزين زرباعي انجزي عايزين عشان نازلين قعدت ساكتة والله ما حلو لا ثانية بس ثانية شوفوا عدل يا جدعان عدل شوفوا عدل الكرة دي عايزنا ايوه خليك قاعده جنبي انا عايزه ميه يا نادين انا اللي هنا ما انا فاهم ايه هو بجد مين اللي بره؟ ادي الكورة بتاعته فين الأول؟ سلام ضحكيني بقى أنا عشان لك مين الحل؟ يا حبيبي يا نهار أبيض الله يخرب بيتك عشان لها برضه أنت يا خالتي تعالي بره أولي أولي لا في حد أولي في حد يا زينة أجيب لك الكورة خلينا نركز يبقى الكورة
So we're back underway as USFAS Bamako try and protect their slender 1-goal lead. And they're going to have to do so with one player less after the red card at the end of the first half for Juma Kamate, the central defender for the Malian side, meaning that Masa will really be kicking themselves if they cannot get this one over the line, the Egyptian hosts. Looking to repeat their run of last year to the semi-finals. And even though they could not go on to reach the final Masar, they could take third place in the competition when beating Nigeria's Edo Queens on penalties after nothing could separate them in the semi-final. 0-0 it was on the day. They actually only played in the tournament last year, Masar, when it was allocated to Morocco, which meant that USFAS, who had won North African qualifying, were then automatic qualifiers, and Masar, who had finished second in UNAF, were instantly in the tournament. And how they made the most of their time there as well, including stunning Mamelodi Sundowns, then the defending champions in the opening game for both sides at last year's event. No Sundowns, of course, this time around. One of the big shocks as African women's club football continues to rise. We saw that Women's Africa Cup of Nations recently expanded from 12 teams to 16. A lot of money being put into the women's game by CAF. Free kick going Masar's way. Well, that looks like another yellow card as well. I think that's handball that is for Mariam Simpara. Let's have a look. Well, that wasn't the challenge. Then the ball came forward in the air. Or is it that challenge? Not for Simpara then, but for Awa Diarra. Either way, Masa have the free kick. They had quite a few in the first half, which they couldn't always use. They had opportunities, they didn't take them. This time they mix it up. Down the right-hand side, Yasmin into the middle, shot a goal, and cleared away by Traore. And penalty awarded to Masa. And instantly, the protests come out from USFAS Bamako. Well, they wanted a fast start to this second period, did the hosts. Let's have a look. Challenge came in from behind. And no hesitation whatsoever. Big Tash, the player, felled by Awa Niare. It's going to go to the screens, of course. Confirmation that it was Simpara who was booked. And we wait. Well, they've conceded a penalty. USFAS in every single game they have played in this tournament. Both against 15 de Agosto in their own net. And then against USFAS in their second game. And now in their third and final group game. After that clumsy tackle by Awa Niare. So the perfect opportunity for the home side to draw themselves level. They've been trailing since the 10th minute. Umu Kone heading home. And it is Yasmin who scored 2 goals against 15 de Agosto, the team's top scorer so far in this tournament, with the opportunity to instantly bring Masa level. Well, she is taking her time. Looking to the referee for confirmation. And still we wait, all eyes on Aline Umutoni, the referee from Rwanda. Well, Karantal saved a penalty in the opening game against 15 de Agosto, did really well. Dived to her right and pulled off a really good block. No such joy in the following game against USFAS. Well, she is going to the screen, which means that there is a possibility that this could be overturned. Well, VAR has taken a central role in this game. So, was it the challenge from the back from Niare who was penalised, or are we possibly looking at a potential handball here coming up from Umu Traore, wearing number 5 for USFAS? Well, that's the challenge from around the back. How much contact is what we are looking at. She got her shot away. Well, I'd like to then go and see if that can scroll on and if we can see whether it touches Traore's hand. But we don't roll it that far forward. Not the best angle either. If they could switch it up, might have a better opportunity of seeing just what sort of contact came in from the 22-year-old midfielder for USFAS. Here is a different angle. I was rather hoping there might be one from the other side, I must be honest. Oh, Biktash got forward. There was no hesitation from Umatoni to point to the spot. And she's had a, I think, had a review, and she has cancelled the penalty. So, as it stands, USFAS have not conceded in every single group game. Oh, what a start and what a role, as said, that VAR is playing in this game. So, penalty overturned by the video assistant referees. And Yasmin, well, she was waiting and waiting and waiting on that spot, and it just simply never came her way to try and drill home from 12 yards. Shard. Fiona. Hala Mustafa. Barking the orders at the back, Bintu Gindu. A little shove, just too much from Diarra. Or Mahira. Just clipping the right heel of Mahira. A key player in this Masar side. Well, this would be a major upset if USFAS can continue and hold on. They are a club that is very well supported back home after their qualification. Their welcome in the Malian capital, Bamako, was unforgettable in the words of their coach. He said, even if the fans can't all travel with us to Egypt, we will always feel their presence. We'll give everything for them, for the club, for Mali. And so far they are doing their West African nation proud. Mahira standing over it again. She has sometimes found fellow players. It's just not the delivery that has been lacking. It's been what's been done with it at the other end. Swung in deep again for Mahira. Headed away. Giabate on the turn. Kone. Oh, she's done well to hold it up. And here is the youngster, Hawa Traore. Yasmin. Biktash. Fiona. Into her midfield colleague Mahira. Over the top. Little bit of space here. And that's a really important challenge coming in from Maimouna Traore. And then it's Simpara. Tries to get that away for USFAS. Pressure not fully cleared. Well, nice touch from Mahira. Knew exactly what she wanted to do. Just caught. Free kick conceded. Giabate just standing her ground to bring down her 28-year-old opponent, who will go short once again to continue mixing it up Around the corner from Mahira. Around the corner again, here's Yasmin. Into the middle it goes, Ogebe. Ah, she swung and missed. Well, we've come to expect a little bit more from the Nigerian than that. Having seen Ubamba swing and miss at the end of the first half, not expecting to see Ogebe do so. Deep to the back stick. Hala Mustafa trying to get in on the end of it. But Karantal comfortably gathers it. USFAS hold on as we tick towards the hour mark. Two solid hands on the ball from the 35-year-old. Shard. Bit of space for Fiona. Hala. Patient this from Masa. Ogebe, little flick. Oh, Bamba just ran past it. The approach play was nice from the Egyptians. Kone, well, she's got some ability, doesn't she, the USFAS striker? She holds the ball up well. Unable to do so on that occasion, but she has brought others into play, being a good focal point for the USFAS players, and even more important, with just the 10 on the field. Into the middle it goes, Ogebe over her head. Ubamba leaves it. Crashing strike from Mahira against the bar. Well, she got everything behind that, the midfielder. But she could beat Karantal. She could not beat the crossbar. Look at this strike. Just clipping off the top of the woodwork. And Masa knocking and knocking against the 10 women of USFAS Bamako. Well, this time it is Awa Diarra, who's one of USFAS's goal scorers in Egypt, receiving the treatment as the changes begin to come. Off goes Niare. On comes Safiatou. Keita dropped today. And also coming on, another Traore, Umu Traore. 26 years of age, midfielder. Changes as USFAS try and find the energy to keep the host nation at bay. A place in the semi-finals on the line if they can hold on. And here is Keita, who's just come on. Well, they'll take their time. Well, USFAS. Gindo tries to get the cross in. It's well closed now by Ogebe. But they'll be very happy to have the ball up this end of the pitch. Well, USFAS swung into the middle. Cleared away. Yasmin will pick it up. Well, she's got a Bamba ahead of her, but instead she has gone left. Just enough on it. As USFAS look to counter. Easy for Amira. Shard into the Equato Guinean Julia. Bigtash, who thought she had won that penalty. Nice possession football from Masar. Now that's wayward. Gindo. Commentators curse and all that. And USFAS have won a free kick. And Kone once again delivering for her team. Her goal still the difference in this encounter. At present, the Malians going through with Asfar, one of 3 winners of this tournament, along with Mamelodi Sundowns and TP Mazembe, the reigning champions, and they are still a goal to the good against Quinte de Agosto, already eliminated. Now a second for USFAS here would really put things amongst the pitch and strike out goal, I think it was, but didn't travel all the way through. Ogebe, nice turn from her. Keita, well, she only had one thought when she won possession. It was a little bit of away from goal, and then she's snapping at the heels of Amira Mohammed. Nice good play from the substitute Safiatou Keita. Amira Mohammed, well, she says that unity is her team's strength and that mental strength will be key in this tournament. And that's exactly what her teammates have to show right now. They've been together in the core of the group for a year or so. You can see it in their plays at times, how fluent it is and the good possession football they have. They now just have to start taking some chances. Mahira over the top into Ubamba. Ubamba in behind. And it's a real scramble. Halima Staffo trying to get it over the line. And in it comes again. Still fully not cleared. Ubamba again. And once more, she cannot find her way past Karantau, nor can she keep the ball between the white posts. Well, it was that ball over from Mahira that caused so much trouble. Ubamba wriggled through, and there was Simpara who got a little bit lucky. Well, not once but twice, because both attempted clearances from the substitute wearing number 2 for USFAS did not do the desired job. The USFAS goal leading a charmed life at present. That's lovely. Lee beautifully picked up by Keita. Still she goes, Keita. She's just come on while she was trying to play it into Kone. And in the end, as she stepped forward with her left foot, she just got the ball with the toe of her left foot. And therefore, her attempted pass with her right was far from what she wanted it to be. This really would be some victory if they can hold on, USFAS. They've been in existence a fair while. A lot of women's teams on the continent are fairly new, such as Masa, who only founded in 2019, originally as Tutankhamun FC. Founded by an Egypt international and Al Ali player by the name of Taher Mohammed. And then the club was bought by Right to Dream Egypt, by a prominent businessman, Mohammed Mansour. And he rebranded Tutankhamun as Masa in September of last year. USFAS, meanwhile, well, they've managed to stop the domestic dominance of AS Monde in recent times. They won the domestic double before heading into the WAFU A, or West African Football Union A qualifiers, which they topped. That's how they got here, of course, the military club from Mali. And they're a quarter of the game away from their most spectacular win. Hala, striker goal, is just tipped on, and it's not over the line again. It is living the most charmed life, the USFAS goal. Well, Karantau got a touch, and then it looked for all the world as though it was going to be turned in just near the line by Masa. But Karantau recovered. Yasmin put the ball into the middle. Fiona left it. And then it was Hala Mustafa who got the shot away, and that's where it looked for all the world as if Yasmin would just touch that over the line. In the end, the contact not strong enough for Masar's top scorer in this competition. There, it really was a super smart save. You've got to give credit where it's due to Karantau, because that was absolutely decisive from Fatoumata Karantau. It is now 2-0 to Asfar. Which means their place, which was really not in doubt, is ever more secure. This is the tie, though. And what changes can he make, Abdel Rahman? Ayed. To elevate the chances of the reigning Egyptian Women's Premier League champions to find a way through. Anxious faces, tense times. Oh, Karantau has really impressed coming into this game. She had yet to keep a clean sheet. She is doing so at present, and it may well be that if she can continue to impress and keep her goal intact, then USFAS Bamako will be celebrating one of the most famous victories, and surely their most famous. We get into the last four of women's teams on the continent. Keita charging forward, just bundles over Shard, who got in her way. I think she might be pleading that there was a little bit of obstruction coming from the Egyptian left back. That's a nice turn for Mahira. Ubamba being quieter in this second period. Simpara, well, she just got inside and checked inside, and that was a really crucial touch coming in. At the back from USFAS, I think it was Traoré who got a touch on it. You could see exactly what Ubamba was trying to do. Well, there's going to be one-way traffic, one would imagine. Shard caught late again by Keita. No whistle on this occasion. Here she is, the substitute for USFAS. Diabate long up towards Kone. 20 minutes to go. That's nice from Fiona, a little drop of the shoulder. Big Tash. Back into Fiona. Ogebe. Bamba in the middle, and the cross cannot get there. She was in space as well, Bamba, no one near her. And there's almost an anywhere will do clearance, but not necessary. She had time. Instead, she's inviting pressure from Masa. Shard. Hala. Ubamba. Nicely played from Ubamba. I wondered if the layoff was going to come from Big Tash. Instead, it goes back into Ubamba. To the byline she goes. Well, she was scampering away. She's done really well to stop that from going out of play. Or has she? No. Goal kick to USFAS. Just a bit of a heavy touch from the number 7 for Masa. Well, in case you joined us late, Umu Kone opened the scoring for USFAS with a really good header. After 10 minutes, late in the first half, USFAS were reduced to 10 women when Juma Kamate was dismissed, harshly so, in my opinion. But off she went for a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. And then early in the second period, Masa thought they had a penalty, only for VAR to get involved again, just as it did with the dismissal. And overruling the decision that suggested that Biktash was fouled. And Yasmin was waiting with the ball on the spot for a fair while before the verdict came through. Well, they have scored 5 in their last game at Masar. They were held by Asfar in their opener. They need to find their scoring boots. Long from USFAS. Julia forward. Back it comes. That's nice from Fiona. Just careful, measured pass into Mahira. Little drop of the shoulder from her. Eating up the ground. Nice pass out to Yasmin on this right-hand side. Across it goes. Hala. Oh, confusion between Hala and Ogebe. Here is Ogebe. And they will have to build it again. Well, it looked a solid tackle from Kone. Not so in the eyes of the official. Biktash. Yasmin. Into Ubamba. She's free in the middle if she can find Ogebe. Well, she cannot. Really good dogged defending again. And Kone again, just leading the line, and selfishly so. Really putting in some tireless work for her team. That's a lovely turn for Mahira. Options to the right-hand side. Look at the scoop into Yasmin. And Yasmin just falls down. Well, Mahira is a driving force for Masa. USFAS player down, but play goes on. Into the middle it goes again and headed away by Simpara. And now there is a break in play as the referee goes to treat the USFAS player on the floor. Awa Diarra. The player down. Well, if it stays like this, Asfar will top Group A with 7 points, and USFAS will be second with 6, and Masa will be third with 4, and Quinta de Agosto, well, they will be pointless. There'll be 3 defeats out of 3 for them. Equatorial Guinea not showing up great in this club competition. Have, of course, won the women's AFCON on 2 separate occasions. Just over a decade ago, 2008 and 2012 it was. Well, Yasmin was in here. She just needed a few more options in the middle of the area. She couldn't find a Gebe. She was a little crowded out, for which you have to credit USFAS for their defensive discipline, despite being a player down. Julia into Fiona. Mahira. Hala. As the referee just skips out of the way. Fiona again. Biktash. Dispossessed. Some tired looking legs beginning to show. Really good challenge coming in from Maimouna Traore. The throw-in has gone Masar's way with an USFAS player down on the floor. Maimouna Traoré. Barged over effectively by Yasmin. This is the little scoop. The first touch just took it away, and then she wanted to play it into the middle. Ogebe was the option, but just lost her footing, Yasmin. Part of the side last year, Yasmin was on the score sheet, the 2024 Women's Champions League. And again this year. But right now, those goals against Quintelia Agosto will be counting for little. Well, Maimouna Traoré is feeling this. She's being urged up by Amira Mohammed. And Mahira also looking concerned. She's feeling it. As the 26-year-old, he'll be feeling it as well. Just over 10 minutes to go, and whatever additional stoppage time there will be, and there must be a fair bit, given the delay for the penalty review, given some of the stoppages we've seen. Mahira, she does take it nicely on the turn. Diabate, well, she had so much time, could easily have held on to it. Instead, she's just gifted possession back to Masa. Fiona, always so composed. That's a nice ball as well. This is good football from Masa. The pass from Ogebe wasn't correct, but up to then it would have been a very promising move. Big Tash, Yasmin, two in the middle, Ogebe and Hala. Well, she tried to find Mahira. And USFAS just about find their way up to Kone. Here's Keita, the substitute. She'll just do well to take this forward, get it as far away from her goal as possible. And she's conceded possession as Keita. So much space for Mahira. What can she do with it? She looks for Ubamba. Full of running in the first half. We've yet to really see that in the second. She's passed one, Ubamba. Tries to go past another. On this occasion, Simpara stops her. Into the middle it goes. And up to the halfway line. Shard. Straight to USFAS, a player in blue. Well, that hits the referee. She could have played advantage and said she stopped the play. Hala barking the instructions. They need goals, Masa. This simply was not in the script. Keita backs herself to beat Hala. Unable to do so. Fiona. Big Tash. Yasmin. Back into Big Tash, who's gone forward with good effect at times in this game, but just ran into traffic. Ebb and flow. And every time USFAS get it, they do concede it a little cheaply. Well, Fiona and Mahira have been very strong in that midfield for Masa. Lovely ball forward again from Mahira. Striker goal from Ubamba. Caught that really well. And a good block coming in from Simpara as well. Good football. Well, it would have been interesting to see where that striker gone from Hasnath Ubamba, the 19-year-old. Looks like a little bit of cramp for Maimouna Traoré. Well, a point would be enough for Masar. Swung in deep, up goes Karantau. And down goes Karantau. No one really around her. Just taking the sting out of the game, the Malian number 1. Well, coming up later in Group B, Tanzania's JKT Queens face TP Mazembe, the defending champions. ASEC Mimosas top of the pile in Group B, face Gaborone United, who are bottom. It's Mimosas on 4 points, Mazembe on 3, Queens on 2, and Gaborone United on 1. Could be a really interesting afternoon to find out which one of those sides will be joining USFAS in the semis, because we can be fairly confident that that's going to be happening. This game, however, could easily turn. Have they lost belief, the Egyptians? It's morale. Another youngster in this side, just 19 years of age, who'll be coming on. Hawa Traore, who's still on the field. 15 years of age for the Malians. Karantau is back up. She took a bit of time out at the beginning of the game after clearing her lines like that. And they got 5 minutes, and I imagine there might be at least 6 minutes of stoppage time. So about 10 minutes left in this game. Here's the substitution. It's Ogebe who's going to be going off. Well, as a central striker and needing goals, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out on CAF's Miral. Well, Cassis, give her fuller name. So it's Bamba who will go into the central striking role. Kone. Well, she played it well enough, but Fiona was sharp. Here's Bamba. Guindo. Bamba tussling. What a penny for her thoughts. Ogebe, she put it on a plate in the first half for Bamba, who swiped and missed. And Halam Mustafa also missing in that same move. That was arguably Masar's best chance of the game. Mahira also hit the crossbar for the Egyptian side. Spreads it out to Yasmin. Looking to the far stick for Hala. Just too much on it from Yasmin. And another opportunity goes begging. No Malian side has ever reached the knockout phase of this competition. Well, that is a yellow card for Karantau, and that is for time wasting. You can clearly hear Helene Tony just wants the game to go on. A bit of gamesmanship from Karantau, but so far everything working in her favour. Mahiro with the header. Yasmin trying to bring it under. Big Tash. Well, it's scrappy in there. And it's USFAS who emerged with possession. Safiatou Keita. This time just looking long for Kone. Julia with the header. That's a forceful run from Keita, but Julia really recovers well. Then loses it. It's scrappy. Striker goal from distance coming in from Giabate. Still she has it. Well, 2 players down on the floor, but the referee playing on. Guindo. Well, Shah just getting something on that, and then play does finally get stopped with Keita on the floor. So many stoppages. Well, Keita just did not give up. That's a pretty full-blooded challenge between her and Julia. Another change this time. Farah, the 22-year-old forward for Masar, coming on. And it's Shard, the left back, who is sacrificed, and you can understand why. Because Masa need to find a goal. And they need it now. Well, those are the thoughts. Keita back up on her feet. All eyes will be turning to how many minutes will be on the board when it is raised for the additional time. Abdelrahman Ayed Nasir issuing the instructions. At present, his side on course to have fired blanks in 2 of their 3 group games, and this one would undoubtedly be the most costly. The point against ASFAR was good, but losing this game would be a mortal blow to them and end their competition, of course. Well, this is a super run. Kone goes down in the box. Well, it was a little push, and I'm sure she'll be trying to accentuate that, but not enough for the Rwandan referee. Heavy from Hala. Guindo. Kone still on the floor, and another break in play. Well, this game really could go on. Now we see the board. Well, that looks like 12 minutes of additional time to me. Not entirely sure why we have the 0 beforehand. And it is indeed 12 minutes. Well, I can't say I'm hugely surprised by the length of time, because there have been numerous stoppages in this encounter. Mahira desperate to win the ball back. Kone. Well, she really has been top quality for her side today. In she goes again. Fiona mops up. Big Tash. Yasmin. Nice little bit of play from Yasmin. She's got options. Can she find the right player? She can't, because she was looking for the substitute Miral Cassis. There's 4 Masar players in front of her. She couldn't find any of them. Well, that looked like handball, and indeed it was handball from the substitute. So we've had the first of the 2 minutes of the 12. Well, they seem calm, USFAS. sure they're anything but on the inside. Flicked on by Kone. Can Masa change the record? Mahira, Kone, Diarra, Diabate. They're holding on to it at the right end of the pitch, USFAS, and this is exactly what they need to be doing. Amira Mohammed, the Masar captain, dreamt of winning this title, not exiting in the group stage. Mahira, one of Masar's best players. Halama Hastafa back into Yasmin. The Bamba's in the middle. Will the ball come to her? No, it's broken down. Diarra away. And then anywhere will do. Anywhere being as far as Julia. Miral Cassis. Took her time. Bamba just clipped and caught. Wins the free kick. Mahira again will play this in. Gindo it was, just you can see her left ankle catching the right one of Ubamba. Oh, Mahira's face tells you everything you need to know. Desperation, desire, and hope etched onto her features. One goal could change everything, and would change everything. Deep in it goes, header at goal, and it's spilled by Karen Tao, and it is into the back of the net. And Masa, who were facing a shock elimination, are now looking good to reach the semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League. Well, so far, Fatoumata Karen Tao in the USFAS goal had been strength personified, but on this occasion, she just could not get it right. And what a moment for the substitute Farah, who had come on. She rose really well, good solid header on it. And Karen Tao just could not get low quickly enough. And finally, the 10 women of USFAS Bamako are beaten. And Masa will now be, if they can hold on themselves, be making it through and be playing in Tuesday's semi-finals. Well, look at the celebrations. They've certainly had their chances, the Egyptians. And finally, they have taken one. Now the question, of course, is can they go on and win it in the time remaining? Well, they will have the bit between their teeth. USFAS, well, they now find themselves in the unlikely event of needing to find an unlikely goal that would give them hope once again. Well, they're being urged forward, Masa. They've got 5 minutes still to go. Ubamba. Karen Tao's come a long way and she's handled, and that's going to be a straight red card, surely, for the goalkeeper, unless she is saved by the offside flag. You can't handle the ball that far from your goal. And there it is. Raised in the air, offside over on the far side. She is a lucky lady, Karen Tao. What a couple of minutes that would have been for her. Ubamba just went a fraction early. But this is not what you do. You do not waste your hands like that so far from goal when out of your area. So 4.5 minutes to go. USFAS desperate to salvage something. And Masa almightily relieved. Well, it will be the two North African teams going through from the group. They started with a goalless draw on match day 1 in Group A. Masar and the Moroccans ASFA. Had they not managed to find a goal after playing against 10 women for 80 minutes, well, Masa would really have had some explaining to do. They're coming forward again. Have they won themselves a corner? Well, that looked like a corner to me. And that is indeed what the officials have decided. Look at the reaction of Karen Tao. Cannot believe it, but it seemed to take a touch as it squirmed over the line. They conceded late from a set piece in their last game against Royal Armed Forces of Morocco. Can Masa complete the turnaround and seal the win? Goes deep this time. Up comes Julia, the back. Headed back in by Miral Cassis. They're full of running the subs. She's going to have done really well to keep that in instead of a goal kick to USFAS, who have put their foot on the gas since conceding in stoppage time. Guindo, heavy touch from her. Well, the decision goes the Malian side's way. Looked like Abamba got a bit of the ball. There she is. Farah Hisham, Mohsen Almadi Saeed, the 22-year-old whose goal is taking her side into the last 4 of the African Women's Champions League, unless USFAS can do something spectacular here. Diabate, Keita, and they'll just run out of play. And they got 1.5 minutes to go. Whistles for the whistle. No urgency, as you might imagine. And they are going to break here. And they've got so much running. Masar, and it's happened again. Well, did that hit the arm of Karen Tao? Let's have a look. What is the decision of the referee? Is she talking to VAR? I think she's seeking some help. Karen Tao trying to say where it hit her part of the body. I think the Rwandan official Umutoni might have missed that, and so is communicating with the VAR team, I think. Let's have a look. Here he goes, and I think she's right. I don't think it did hit her hand. Karen Tao. It's unorthodox goalkeeping. It's pretty risky stuff, frankly. But on that occasion, it paid off. Decision still to be made, though. That is what we are waiting for. We saw it from one angle where it did not look as though it hit any of the hands of Karen Tao. Well, this is a different angle. Let's have a look here. It does look as though it cannoned off her thigh, but she's going to go and have a check on the screen. And I think that makes it very, very clear. That's certainly a very, very good angle. You can see that it comes off the thigh/knee of Karen Tao. As tempers just spill over a little bit at the end of this game. We are in the 104th minute. It was very effective goalkeeping, but it could so easily have gone wrong. Well, it shouldn't be a free kick, of course, to Masa. It may well be a drop ball. Let's see what she decides on Matoni. Should really, I would have thought, exactly as Mahira is suggesting, be a throw-in to the Egyptian side. Instead, it's gone USFAS's way when the ball clearly cannoned off Karen Tao, the goalkeeper. All academic for now. Oh, well, that's a poor challenge on Mahira. A real swipe coming her way from Giabate, as you can see. Oh, she's been hugely impressive today, Mahira. And still, we play. Effectively a whole quarter added of this half, as in 50 minutes. As we see the all-important Masar goal again. Farah Hisham sparking the celebrations. Huge relief. And the final whistle blows, and FC Masar of Egypt are back in the semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League. They left it late to be there, having trailed early on against 10 women USFAS. And it was only deep into stoppage time that Farah Hisham headed home. An opportunity that really should have been stopped by Fatoumata Karen Tao in the USFAS goal. The Malians led through Umu Kone's 10th minute header, were reduced to 10 women just shortly before half-time when Juma Kamate was harshly sent off following a VAR review. They thought they had a penalty, the Egyptians, early in the second half. It never came their way. Instead, that equalising goal from Farah did, which means they will be in Tuesday's semi-finals. They've all finished second in Group A behind Asfar of Morocco, who topped the table. But it's just relief for many of these young players. For so long, it was in the balance. And the smiles tell us everything. It has ended in Cairo. USFAS 1, FC Masar 1.
Make it beside you like this. Celebrate.
Hold on.
For
Hold
real.
on. Celebrate. Thank you. English.
Congratulations, Hassanet. How do you find?
Thank you so much. I'm really thankful for God. Today we did it, and we preparation for this, and thank God we're in for semi-final, and we'll go up to final and take the trophy. I think so, yes.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations and thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So confirmation of the results from Group A. USFAS of Mali 1, FC Masar of Egypt 1, and Asfar of Morocco beating Equatorial Guinea's Quinte de Agosto by 2-0 to ensure that they, the Moroccans and former champions, finish top of Group A. Masa takes second spot. Both teams through to the last 4 Tuesday's semi-finals, and spare a thought for USFAS, who were just stoppage time minutes away.
Amazing
from
feeling.
making
It came
the
at the end of the
semi-finals.
game. We have been working so hard from the first minute of the game. We didn't have luck to convert all the chances we got. And the players, thanks for all the players who waited till the end of the game, and they did not lose hope. They never gave up. They waited till the last minute, and then we scored, and it is so emotional right now. And then we are very happy. We are very proud of the players, and hope we do so well, inshallah, in the semi-final and final, inshallah.
What's next?
Yes, next today celebration that we go to the semi-final. Tomorrow we prepare for the semi-final, inshallah. We still wait who we're gonna play. We still gonna watch the games now, and then we train tomorrow and after tomorrow the recovery sessions, and then we have the video sessions to get ready for the next game, inshallah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Shukran.